So before you start a business, what is your why? How's the market going to respond to your business? And are you financially fit to begin your business? I'm Joe Chavarria, and this is another exciting episode of Cup of Joe. Now, before we get into the topic at hand, I want to remind everybody to like, share, and subscribe to my podcast. And also, if you are started a business and you are looking to get some capital for your business, then there's no better way to seek capital through our partners here at the Credit Agents. So we have a proprietary process to where we'll analyze your current financial situation, whether it be your personal credit, business credit, revenue, any collateral you may have, and we'll figure out the best way to get you funded and get you the money you need to start or expand your business. Go to thecreditagents.com/funding to fill out a simple one-page questionnaire, and within minutes get contacted to learn a little bit more about what options are available. Again, that's thecreditagents.com/funding to get a no obligation, no hassle, obligation-free offer and quote on what you can do to get financing for your business. Okay, so the first topic at hand that I want to discuss is your why. So before you actually start a business, you need to really check your motives. What's the reason why you would even consider starting a business? And for a lot of people, their motivation may be because they're driven by something in their life that is sort of pushing them in that direction to whether it be to seek more time, to get some of their time back, to be able to get some freedom to be able to do certain things. I'll give you an example of that. One of my reasons for wanting to launch my business was because, I knew that at some point, sometime, I would have kids of my own, and I wanted to be around more. I wanted that flexibility to where if I needed to take off or if I needed to, not work for a day or two, that I would have that flexibility and that freedom to be able to do so without having to get approval from a boss or a supervisor or asking for permission to be able to do that. And so that was one of my reasons for wanting to start a business. And fast forward today, about 8 years since I had that thought. I have a 4-year-old little girl and a 7-month-old boy, and it's really exciting to be able to not have to miss dance classes. I get to take my daughter to dance class on a Tuesday morning. Being around for a lot of my sons growing milestones, right, and being able to be part of that. So what is your why for wanting to start a business? Maybe you developed a proprietary system or a service or a product that you believe the market's going to respond very well to, and you need to get it out there. Maybe you don't have any kind of personal motivations for doing it, but you have something that that the market needs, and you want to really get it out there. And so that's a really good reason to go ahead and start a business or launch your business. I don't think that financials or just making a profit or just making money is a good reason to start a business, because it takes endurance. Starting a business is a game of endurance, and so it's all about lasting the market. It's about outlasting your competition. It's about overcoming adversity, right? And so if your root motivation for starting a business because you want to make a ton of money, well, you're going to be really saddened to know that within the first 3 to 5 years, you're not really making much of anything. And so if you have a very good job, or if you have a decent job, or maybe not a job that's not paying that well, but your motivation to start a business because you see other people on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, and you're like, man, these guys I know they're making money, and I know they're making a killing, and they have a business, and so I want to start my own business, going to make a lot of money. First off, don't believe everything you see and everything you read, right? So those people may not actually really be successful or even happy in their business, and maybe they're not really making the money that that is being portrayed on their social media profiles. So you gotta be very careful about who you follow and who you read upon or listen to, because it may not actually be factually true. So again, another reason why it's not a good idea to start a business based on money is there's a lot of adversity, There's a lot of obstacles that come along with starting a business, and most businesses really don't make it past year 5. A study was done by back in like 2004 by the SBA, which mentioned that most businesses fail within the first 5 years just due to lack of capital or lack of having available funds. And I think it's about 90%, maybe 80% or more. It's a high number for sure of businesses that don't make it just because they run out of cash or they don't have access to cash. And so starting a business is very tough. And so if you have a good job, if you have steady employment, even if it's not the best employment, even if you're not making a lot, I would venture to say the better option for you would be to kind of move within the company, kind of get promoted within the company, learn all of the skills, all of the trades you can learn within the organization, get a lot of experience there. Because at some point in time, if you were to start a business of your own or help out in another company, having all that experience, having that, the new skills that you develop from working your way up the company you're at now is going to really benefit you. A lot of people are, kind of shy away from, working or taking their job seriously because, I don't know if it's just their work ethic or they just don't think that there's really any opportunity there for them, or they think that's all they're going to get. They kind of get, to listen to their friends or listen to their coworkers that are kind of like also negative, don't really have a lot of high goals. And so, you got to be careful who you surround yourself with. You got to be careful who you read, who you follow. And, if your goal is to do better, if your goal is to get more of what you already have and you're working within the company, build that resume up. Learn to do other things, make yourself more valuable, make yourself indispensable. And then the market in the company you work for is going to pay you, what you're really worth. And if you're not really increasing your value, if you're not learning a lot of skills, then it's really tough to earn, more of an income, to ask for a raise and get more opportunity because you really haven't demonstrated much of anything to be able to warrant a higher pay. So what is your why? What is your rooted motivation for launching a business? Because it's got to be big enough. It's got to be enough to where it keeps you up at night, it gets you up early. It's going to be the driving force behind the scenes when adversity strikes, because adversity will strike, obstacles will come. And if your why is big enough, if your why is strong enough, then it's going to really help take you through those dark times in your business. And so the next thing I want to talk about is how will the market respond to your business. But first, before I get into that, if you're looking to repair your personal credit, and many of the reasons why you can't get financing is because your personal credit is not strong enough, then I want to remind you that here at the Credit Agents, we have access to be able to review your credit report with you, thoroughly analyze it for you, and inspect it for derogatory information that is misleading, that is incorrect, that is incomplete, and do a great job at getting that information removed from your credit report. So if you'd like a free, no obligation credit review, go to www.thecreditagents.com/referral. And if you put in the message box that Cup of Joe podcast is sends you there, then you'll get a 10% discount off your services. So again, it's www.thecreditagents.com/referral. Enter promo code Cup of Joe in the message box and get a 10% discount on the services. So the next topic at hand is going to be, how will the market respond to your product or service? So how do you time it? When's the best time to launch and actually do it? Does it need to be on in a good economy, but a bad economy? And my business actually was launched on the back of a down economy, right after the mortgage meltdown, kind of like during that mortgage meltdown, kind of shortly as a starting to incline, but we're still classified as in a recession. That's when my business launched. And a lot of businesses launch in down economic markets because it's easier to go to market. More people have a little bit more available time on their hands. So if you have, to find your customers a little bit easier. You have, obviously, if you're having very little opportunity as far as jobs are concerned that are out there, then, obviously a good thing to do is to, go ahead and start your business. Why not? So, a lot of businesses start in down economic times, and it just depends on your product or service, and depending on the market, right? And so, you want to pay close attention to, is the economy good? Is the economy bad? And the reason why is because it, depends on what you're selling, depends on what your company does, if it's going to make sense or not. So let's say you want to start a real estate, let's say you want to be a real estate agent, you want to start your own real estate brokerage, and the market is down. So that means that there's a lot of buyers out there, not a lot of sellers, because a lot of people, and it can be the other way around too, but let's just say there's not a lot of people looking to sell their property because they're the market's down. They're going to sell they're going to lose money, so they also want to kind of protect their asset, save money, and just kind of wait for the market to go back up so they can sell their property. A lot of people don't want to sell their property in a down market, so you have a lot of buyers that are out there. So if anyone does sell their property or wants to sell their property, because it is a buyer's market, a lot of the buyers have a lot of negotiating power, right? So if at the same time you don't have a lot of A1 buyers, people with great credit that are out there. A lot of them are, kind of staying put, you're saving money. They're just kind of waiting the market to play out. And so you don't have a lot of, top of the line buyers. You may have a lot of subprime buyers that are out there, and that's because they see the prices drop. Their job may not be impacted as much. But they see the prices are dropping, and so they want to get some action on that. The unfortunate thing is they really can't take advantage of the financing because their credit is the issue. And so that's a perfect example there as to when would be the best time to launch, right? Maybe, but on the flip side, maybe starting a real estate investment company would make sense, because in a down economy, that's when you want to be buying more assets, right? Because assets become cheaper, you can get more for you can stretch out your dollar much further. So maybe starting an asset-based company where you're buying assets in a down economy makes sense, because again, everything's cheaper to purchase, and when the market goes up, you'd be glad that you bought that piece of property, that your investment portfolio was being built, or you got into some stocks and got into some investing, or maybe we're acquiring companies when the market was down, and when the market is better, when the market is up, that's where you make most of your money. So kind of take that into consideration. The market. How is the market? Is the market ready? When is the best time to launch? And ultimately, really depends on your product or service. If it's a down economy, and you have a product or service that may be impacted by the economy, maybe you want to start small. Maybe start on a part-time basis and kind of slowly build it up, right, before like leaving your job or going all in. Unless you aren't working, maybe just building it up on the side. But if you aren't working, then maybe go all in. It makes a lot of sense to go all in at that point, because what else are you going to do with your time? So last and final part is the financing, right? Obviously, your own personal financials. When are you ready to launch, not only from a mental and marketplace responding perspective, but also from a are you yourself financially fit? And so if let's take a scenario where you have a stable job, you have steady employment, and you have some debt, right? Maybe you have some credit card debt, maybe some personal loans, maybe some student loans, and you want to start this business, right? So I would encourage you to, before you fully go full-time into your business, that you save every penny you can, you restructure, you do a budget on yourself, and find a way to pay off that debt with your current job, and maybe build your business on the side on a part-time basis, right? But focus on getting out of debt, right? Focus on getting out of debt and saving money. So when you do go full-time in your business, you have some cushion there. You don't have this overwhelming debt over your head that may force you to make bad decisions in your business, because a lot of your personal finances are influencing those decisions and don't allow you to make decisions that are great long-term for the business. You're kind of focusing a lot of short-term decisions because you have to make money, or you have to turn a profit quicker. You can't purchase certain things because you don't have that flexibility. You have that debt that's just kind of looming over your head. And so definitely making sure that you put yourself on a budget, get out of debt as fast as you possibly can. And as far as saving, I would recommend saving about 6 months worth of personal expenses before going full-time into the business. So that way, in the event that, because again, starting a business can take a while to build, right? It takes a while to turn a profit. Sometimes takes a while to generate revenue, right? And so, you want to make sure you have some cushion there to kind of last you. If you can do 12 months or almost 2 years, even better, but at least 6 months to kind of hold you over while you focus on the business and draw the line, right? So, say that, hey, I'm not going to go longer than this without turning a profit this amount of time, or I'm not going to spend more than this amount of money in the business. If I get to that point, I got to call it quits because it may not actually work, and you don't want to put yourself or your family in a tougher financial bind. So before you go full time in your business, before you fully launch it, pay off your debt, set aside about 6 months worth of your expenses, put it in an escrow, an interest-bearing savings account, and use that to help cover your cost. And before you do that, cut as much expense as you possibly can before you go full time into your business, right? Cut out things you don't need so you can keep your overhead, your personal overhead, low as you get ready to build your business. So that is my time today. Hope this information was helpful. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cup with Joe, and hope to see you on the next one. Take care.